Metal Warriors, welcome again to Iron Madness. This is our 7th interview, and our special guest for today is Mr. Peter Baltes. Hello, welcome here.
Thank you for having me here.
Let's start. The first question I wanted to tell you about is before starting to talk about Touchdown and U.D.O and everything, I wanted to make you a question about yourself, about your starts in heavy metal music. I want to know, why did you start listening this music? I want to know that.
Okay, well, I was very young, and the first band I listened to actually was Yes, very progressive band, Yes. And then from there on, I couldn't get enough. So I listened to Yes, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and then I switched to AC/DC and Deep Purple. And then from there to Rainbow, and then Judas Priest. So basically it evolved, but once I got a little taste, I could not stop.
So since there, you're a blood metalhead.
Yes.
Okay. So now let's start talking about Touchdown, this new U.D.O album. I wanted to know, first of all, a little bit of the history of this, because you started in U.D.O as a substitute member, and in a few months, just a few months, you became an official formal member of the band, and then you recorded a new album. So I don't know, it was so fast for you, everything so a bit chaotic?
It wasn't chaotic, no. U.D.O called me last September. His bass player collapsed on stage, and he asked, "Can you do me a favor? I have nobody. Can you fly to Germany, learn 16 songs, and meet me on Friday?" That was Tuesday. So I said, okay. So I learned the songs, I flew over, started playing, and then about a month and a half in, we were in South America. He must have gotten a text or an email from the old bass player and said, "I don't want to be in the band anymore." So he asked me, and the band asked me, "We really like you. Would you like to join?" And I said, okay. So I did this, and then Touchdown was actually written during the pandemic.
Yes.
So it was supposed to be released a year earlier. So they were still working on it. So now I joined the band, and they asked me, "Well, now that you joined the band, can you please play, the bass?" And I said, okay, send me the tracks. They sent me the tracks to America. I live in Florida. And, I had time here to play the bass. And then as soon as I was done, I remember we went back on the road, and we've been on the road ever since.
My next question was actually about if you have already composed something on this new album. I can understand that not for now, that you received the songs, and you played and you recorded with your bass, but you haven't composed yet.
No, because that was all written already. So, but the next album, we talked about it already, and we said, next time we're gonna go all in one room. We're gonna go in the studio for 4 weeks, lock the doors, and work as a band and create songs together, not on a laptop or Pro Tools. We want to do it old school. Yeah.
So you would like to compose songs for the next album? You have plans?
Yes. Yeah, we have to start. We have to start composing, I think, maybe in the fall. Of this year.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so continuing about the bass in this album and Touchdown, I wanted to know something about your bass, because I have seen that you play with, at least it seems, an old bass, quite old bass, and I want to know, since when you have that bass. You play still with it because you like it, because you like the sound, and if you have recorded with that bass.
I'm going to show you that bass.
You have that bass here? Oh my god. Yeah, that bass. It seems old. Since when you have it? Oh my god.
I have it forever. The bass, hang on. We were on tour in America with Iron Maiden, and in the 80s.
Yeah.
And a guy came to the venue backstage, and he had all vintage, he brought guitars and basses. So I looked at this bass. It was white, had white color. I played it. I loved it. I offered money, and then Steve Harris played it. He loved it. He offered money. So we were bidding back and forth. So I outbid him and bought the bass. And after the tour, I sent it back to my guy in Germany. I said, take the paint off. I want it natural.
Okay.
And he takes the paint off, takes the neck off, calls me back and says, you know what the serial number is? I said, no. He said he looked it up. The bass is built 1959.
My God.
I'm born 58. So it's that old, yes. And I've been playing on it ever since, played all the most of the Accept records, like in the 80s and in the 90s, and all the recent Accept stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was too dangerous because it's so valuable to take it on the road.
Yeah.
Because so I decided, I have a company in Fort Worth, Texas, America, and they built me a copy of my bass. The company is called Vintage. And then they did such a great job, so they built me a whole bunch of them, and that's what I take on the road now when you see me play live. And this one here is just for recording.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for the answer and for showing us the bass. Okay, let's continue. I have listened the new Touchdown album, of course.
Yeah.
And my personal opinion, it's such a good album. U.D.O always at his level. I really like it. But in the wave of the recent era from U.D.O, last 10 years more or less.
What I notice is the difference, because the guitar players are very young. And Sven, the drummer, is his son, so he's young. So you have two generations playing music.
I was going to tell you that.
Yeah. They come together. And the interesting thing is, instead of doing this, we're doing this.
Yes.
So
yes.
we I'm, as the older one from old school, I embrace and listen to what they have to bring, and I love it. I'm like, wow, this is so fast, and this is and they listen to me like, wow, listen what he plays there. It's like cool. It's like,
yeah,
they don't know that type of bass playing. So in the middle is U.D.O. It's always constant, the same. Yeah, he sits in the middle, and you have like a nice, really nice synergy now of two different styles or three different styles coming together. And I think that's what made this album very special and different. Some of the songs sound like old, except some of the stuff sounds very modern, very young.
Yes.
So I think it's, for fans, it's the best of both worlds.
Yeah, it's exactly what you said. We can see a clearly two-generation size on the band right now. And if you know how to work, of course, it's a very good thing. And that's really cool.
I just got an email. This is the highest charting record that U.D.O ever had. It's number 4 in Germany. It's still in the chart. So
number 4.
Yeah, it's really taken off all over the world, everywhere. So their most successful album so far.
You have announced a new European tour with a lot of dates. There are no dates in Spain for now. But do you think there's still an opportunity to add dates, or are you thinking about tour part 2 or something?
They only announced, I think, the German date so far.
Only German? Okay.
Yeah. All the European dates are all going to come. We're going to come to Spain, of course.
Yeah.
No. But I think that's all they did, because they're coming in every day. There's new dates coming in. And instead of announcing one after a time, they're going to announce all the German ones. And then at one point, they do all the European ones.
I have heard the album, the whole album. Of course, you have heard it too. But probably my Metal Warriors fans everywhere in the world that haven't listened to the album yet, they don't know with which song start. So I want to know your personal recommendation from the album.
I do like The Flood very much, and The Isolation Man. I like Touchdown, even though that's the title track, but because it's very fast, and then you accept it to be, you expect it to be a really fast song, and yet the chorus is like a mid-tempo.
Yes.
Which is very interesting. So it makes it very interesting.
Now that you told us your recommendations of Touchdown, of the new album, I think it's now the time to hear that. Let's go.
I agree. The first thing I noticed when I got the album like you in the mail, and I listened to it, and I noticed how fast it goes. There's no ballad, so it's just before you know it, it was over, and I had to listen to it again. That is a good sign, in my opinion. So you don't skip over songs because you're bored. And a lot of the tracks have a personal meaning to the band, like the flood, for instance, during the pandemic. Sven's studio and house flooded. There was a big flood, and the whole studio was destroyed.
Yeah, I remember something.
Isolation Man, we wrote this about being isolated during the pandemic, which was a terrible thing for people to deal with. We never experienced that before. Fight for the right,
Yes.
Nobody ever thought that there would be another war in Europe. That was like, this can't be. It's 2023, 24. And then there is. Unbelievable. Yeah. And so, we were talking, and fight for the right is fight. The song talks about fight for the right to live in peace. And for politicians and corporations to leave you alone and give you space and let you live your life, and they don't. They control everything you do, and they make sure that there's always a conflict, so they can sell their weapons. It's always the same. It's always been the same. So fight for your right is basically fight for the right to be yourself, to live your own life, to have the right to be in peace and not always have the fear that something will happen. So, so all the songs they have a meaning, and for the band it was very personal.
Yeah. I think we can feel it. It's every song has some message.
And usually when you have songs written that have a meaning, a personal meaning for the band, usually these are good albums because they come from deep within. Exactly. There's a difference in just writing a song and singing about rock and roll and girls and stuff. Or you write about
you express what you feel, what you think.
Yeah.
Okay, so my next question is to know a little bit more about you. And I want to know which band or artist would you like to collaborate with to make a song or an album? It could be any artist, any band, whatever.
If I had to collaborate with somebody, I probably would love to collaborate with David Grohl, Foo Fighters. Yeah.
Yes.
He's absolutely incredible, and he's a great drummer, great guitar player, great singer, great songwriter. So that's somebody I would like to collaborate with, and probably my son. My son plays in a band, Howling Giant, the stoner rock metal band from Nashville, Tennessee. And I like to do some songs with him one day. That would be cool, father son. Make a record together. That's kind of my dream.
Okay, next question. What was the last concert you went, but paying the ticket as a fan?
Actually, Earth, Wind and Fire.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah, it is 3 years ago.
Okay. Oh, really cool, really cool. Now, returning to Udo said a few years ago when he started Dirkschneider as a project to play Accept, which is fine. He said that now when he would come as Udo, he would play only Udo, and then in Dirkschneider as Dirkschneider Accept. So he would separate these projects, which for me is totally perfect and it's really good. I mean, I go to see Accept when they come. I go to see Dirkschneider in festivals, in clubs. And of course, when Udo comes, I go to see Udo. And as a fan, I really like that he plays only Udo. So
do I.
Yeah, so I wanted to know, because when you entered the band, at least the last time you have been here in Barcelona, you played some Accept songs as Udo. And I wanted to know if it's because you were new in the band and it was because of that you haven't learned all the songs or whatever, or because this idea about playing only Udo and only Accept in Dirkschneider has disappeared a little bit. Why was that?
No, I think they did it because of me. Because I didn't have to learn that many songs. They figured we put a couple in that he knows. But now when we play now, we only play U.D.O songs. And we did a couple of shows as Dirkschneider, and then it's just basically Accept.
Yes, okay.
So next time we do Dirkschneider, now we can do some old ballads that we never did from Accept, like The King.
Yes.
You know, that's so now we can do that, and it's gives us opportunity to make it something different. And that's the future. But no, I love playing. We all love playing the U.D.O songs. They're strong enough. He has enough songs under his belt. So no, he's absolutely correct in that. And you know, I encouraged him too. I said, we don't need to play it. You don't need to play any Accept songs anymore.
I think for the fans, it's really good.
It is really good. You're right. Absolutely.
My next question is about going on tour, because I wanted to know if you are ready to go on tour with Udo, because I don't know, but I guess it's quite hard, because I have seen a lot of tour posters with 40 or 50 shows in 2 months or 3 as much, and long shows for about almost 2 hours or 2 hours. So it must be hard. I wanted to know if you are ready.
To be quite honest, it's no problem at all. It's the best 2 hours of the day.
Okay.
When you play the show, and you know, when you do long tours, you're on the bus. That's very comfortable. You drive overnight. You know, during the day you have time to explore where you are, which city. So it is a little bit like a vacation as well. And I'm absolutely capable. You know, I feel very good physically. I have no problem at all.
Okay. So you are ambitious.
Yeah.
Okay. It's perfect. So, non-music questions. Let's start. The first one is that I want to know, when you were a little kid, what did you like to play the most? Game, sport?
When I was a kid, when I came home from school, my mother always said, go outside and play. So most of the time we rode bikes. I loved my bike. I had a high bike, very good, like a chopper. So it was really cool. I was always on my bike.
I will name you 3 movies, okay? And I want you to rate them from 1 to 10 to give points, okay? The first movie or trilogy is Back to the Future.
10.
10 out of 10, okay. Okay, I agree. Next one is Lord of the Rings.
10.
10 again, okay. The last one is Star Wars.
10.
Another 10, okay, fantastic. You like movies? And
yes, I do. And that's because you have a lot of time sometimes on the road too. On the bus you can watch something, and you know, I loved Lord of the Rings, of course. Star Wars, absolutely. And you forgot to mention Indiana Jones. next time.
It's an 11
10.
for you.
11, yeah.
11. Okay. You told me that you really like to go with your bike everywhere, but nowadays you still do that or whatever?
Yep.
I want to know your hobbies. Out from music, of course.
I live in Florida, so I still do the bike, but we go to the beach a lot.
Okay.
And like to swim in my pool.
Okay, yeah, cool. Really cool.
That's it. Yep.
Okay. Before finishing, future plans. You have any ideas? You told in the beginning that you are already thinking about a new album, about the next album. So you're working on it. That's your future plan now.
Always working on stuff. Always. It never stops. That's the essence of being a musician. If you have an idea, you write it down.
Yeah.
And then another day you come back to it, and then you have a riff, and you look what ideas. We're always, even in the dressing room, we're always, Sven is hitting his knees, the guitar players, and we're just always creating. Mm-hmm. That's the fun part. That's the fun part of being a musician.
Okay, so we can say it's good to have a notebook always near you.
Absolutely, always there. Okay.
Talking about U.D.O, I want to know, how do you started in this project? Because you came from Accept, which is a very big band. You played in big venues, and now starting in U.D.O, for me it's a big band, but probably in some places they play in small venues, or at least more small than the ones you've played with Accept, I guess. So how do you feel this? Like a new illusion, or like something, a new experience? You like it?
It's a little bit like coming home, because I started, when I started with U.D.O, and I kind of like that I would finish with U.D.O. That would be very cool. I don't care about the venues, all that matters is that I'm happy and I love what I'm doing with the people that I'm doing it with. And
that's basic.
Right now, it's about the best that I can ask for. There's no egos. We have fun. It's all about the music, and that's all that matters. And to be quite honest, when we play big festivals or really big arenas, you can't see the people. They're so far away. I take a club anytime over any big arena, because I want to see the faces. Mm-hmm. So I have much more fun that way. And but it feels like I came home, and I know now I'm in the place where I'm supposed to be.
Okay, so you're taking this with energy and happy.
Yeah,
which is fantastic, of course.
Yes,
and yes. I can confirm that, because I saw you in Barcelona with U.D.O. I saw you a few weeks ago in Leyendas del Rock, in the festival, as Dirkschneider, and you seem really happy in the stage, dancing, singing, interacting with the audience, and that's so great.
I have fun. That's always,
of
absolutely.
Course, that's the first thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so now the last question, which is not really a question. It's time for you to tell whatever you want to the fans, to your Spanish and Latin America fans, or everyone in general, to tell them to buy Touchdown, because it's an amazing album, and it's your time to explain us whatever you want.
Yeah.
We listen.
Okay. Hi, this is Peter from U.D.O, and I encourage all of you, all the metal fans over the world, Spain, South America, Germany, it doesn't matter where you are, go get a copy of Touchdown, and if you have speakers at home, put it on, turn it up, and enjoy. We see you somewhere out there in the coming month.
Okay, so Peter, thank you so much. I had a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this interview. Hope Touchdown gets another level, and I'm sure you will get it. Thanks for your time. It has been amazing, and hope you have enjoyed it too.
I did. Thank you for having me. Metal Warriors, nos vemos en la próxima.